How are we doing? How are we doing? Good evening, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It's good to see you all today. Today is the 19th day of July 2025, and we are on for our best program. This is one of my best programs because every time I come into this space, um, it feels refreshing, enlightening, and very uplifting. So I want to welcome every one of us. Please, if you have friends who are supposed to join us, please let's begin to remind them. Let us remind them to join us because it's 7 already. I want to welcome every one of us who are joining from different parts of the world. You are welcome to Team Dimma and Nedum's 22nd anniversary LOVEATHON Couples Edition. Today is the day 3 of this edition, and it has been very, very interesting, revealing, and impactful. I want to encourage you to go back and listen to the recorded messages or the recorded videos from the previous sessions. That's the first day and the second day, right? It has been off the hook. So I want to still continue to welcome us. Welcome, welcome. If you don't mind, can you let me know where you're joining from? Please come to the chat room and let me know where you're joining from. Let me know where you're joining from. Oh, let me know where you're joining from. Let me know where you're joining from. Welcome, 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 and welcome. Let me know where you are joining from. Yeah, it is our very best program, LOVEATHON. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome one more time. You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome to the third day of the LOVEATHON series. Welcome, welcome. Let's share the link to ensure that everybody who is supposed to be here are here. Let's share the link, share the link, share the link, share the link so that we can get everybody on board. Share the link so that we can get everybody on board. Oh, brilliant. Let's share the link so that we can get everybody on board. The past 2 weekends have been very, very impactful. Like I said earlier on, it's been revealing, thought-provoking, and inspirational. We have learned a lot from our teachers, our mentors, our marriage mentors, these ones who have gone before us and who have shown us the way. They've been able to pour their hearts, share life experiences, give practical messages, so many things, so many things, so many things, and today is another opportunity for us to improve. Today is another opportunity for us to be delivered once more. So please, let's join in. Let's join in. For those of us who have joined, I want to say welcome. Welcome to LOVEATHON. LOVEATHON. However way you want to pronounce it, but you know what I'm saying. You're welcome. You're welcome. You are welcome. Please let us ensure that we get everyone who's supposed to join us here. Let them join us. If you're already joined, please just go to the chat room and let us know where you're joining from. Let us know where you're joining from, what state, what country, what country. Myself, I am reporting live from the city of Abuja, Nigeria. Abuja, Nigeria. So let me know, where are you reporting from? Where are you joining from? Where are you joining from today? Where are you joining from? Where are you joining from? Where are you joining from? You don't want to be anywhere else but at LOVEATHON see, I'll call this, okay, this is day 3, can also be season 3, but day 3. And guess what? We have a very, very, very interesting topic that will be discussed today. So please, you have to stay connected, stay glued. You have to stay attentive, because things are going to be shifting. Um, um, Strongholds are going to be shifting. Things that you've held for so long in the past are going to be shifting this evening. And trust me, I know that it will bring a lot of good to our relationships and our marriages. It will bring a lot. So please, let's get everyone to join. 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 So while they are joining, I'd just like to say a brief summary of what LOVEATHON is all about, just before we get our teachers and our mentors um, in the room. Essentially, like I said earlier on, this LOVEATHON was born out of the celebration of the 22nd wedding anniversary of our teachers, our mentors, TeamDinmaNedum, the ones who started the Start Your Marriage Right Academy. So the theme of this whole program, that's in a way of giving back for the celebration of the 22nd anniversary, they came up with this program, and the theme is the soul of marriage, challenging the counterculture of self-interest. And every weekend, that's Saturday and Sunday in the month of July, they've been taking classes like this to enlighten the public, to throw more light, to educate, to give guidance to members of the public, to give guidance to couples, newlyweds, about to wed, and those who are already married. Things that need to be done to ensure that they achieve a blossoming marriage, right? So the objective of this one is essentially an annual marriage empowerment series hosted by TeamDinmaNedum, like I said earlier on, to celebrate their wedding anniversary and share their journey with others. So the main message is, in spite of the negative news about marriages not working, they believe that happy marriages exist and can be built and enjoyed by ordinary human beings like me and you, right? So through the LOVEATHON, they aim to inspire and educate married couples and singles on timeless wisdom and practical life experiences that they can learn from and build their kind of marital bliss. Everybody wants to experience marital bliss. One of the ways for you to experience it is for you to listen attentively to the things that are going to be said here in the next 1 hour, and also go back to the ones that have been recorded and ensure that you listen to them. And the following Saturdays or the following weekends, please make sure that you are nowhere else but in this room. That said, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great joy, as always. It gives me great joy, and it is an honor to bring forth these ones who have gone before us, these ones who are clearing the path in the Start Your Marriage Right industry. One of the things I've realized in our country or in the world is that people are quick to get into marriage, but nobody takes out time to try to ask themselves, what are the things I need to do? What are the things I need to know as I step into this institution that I will spend the rest of my life with? Now, these two people have sought the face of God, and God has directed them to bring light in this area that has been dark. So they are the chief visionaries of Start Your Marriage Right Academy. I call them the Davus Kabash of the Start Your Marriage Right Academy. Ladies and gentlemen, if you came with your hands, and they are not busy. If you came with your hands and they are functional, please put your hands together. I mean, physically now, as we make welcome our mentors in the Start Your Marriage Right Academy, Mr. and Mrs. Dima and Nedum Wobi. Please, a round of applause for them as they take the floor. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you everyone who has shown up and consistently supported us in many ways. This is LOVEATHON Season 3, and this is also the 3 Couples Edition. And indeed, we are so excited celebrating our 22nd wedding anniversary with the world showing that everything is possible. I want to say special thanks to Casey for your warm introduction and always being there for us, supporting us in every way you can. We are so proud of you and also to be partnering with you. And the LOVEATHON for this year is the soul of marriage, challenging the counterculture of self-interest. We have been counselors, coach, and therapists for family life for almost 2 decades, counting. And one of the things we encounter during counseling or providing guidance or interacting with couples is always the idea that love is about me. What am I gaining? What are the opportunities for me? Who am I going to become as a result of marrying to you? What are you bringing to the table? Do you have money? Are you driving cars? What connections do you have? What is the level of your network? Which family are you coming? How rich is your father? Even the poor people are still asking, how rich is your father, before making up decisions. And we think that marriages are breaking down because rather than focus on the goal, rather than focus on the soul, the entity called marriage relationship built on partnership, mutual support, respect, sense of belonging, ability to love and receive love, people are looking, what am I going to gain? And breaking it down to separation and divorce, it becomes messier because who is grabbing what? Who is more advantaged to grab the larger portion, be it custody of the children or property, and the way they go about it, you will begin to wonder, was there a sign that these people were even in love? Was there a time they professed love to each other? Was there a time that they were shaking and telling themselves all those lovely things that could ever be imagined? And you begin to wonder. And so we want to change the narrative and culture by saying, if we are going to build sustainable, flourishing, and enjoying marriage relationship, we need to move from me, from I, to us and we. And until we begin to think in that perspective, until we channel our energy and thoughts beyond ourselves to what we are building together, that is when we are focusing on the right direction in building the sustainable marriage relationship we contracted with each other. And so for today, we are looking at one of the most important topics in this series, the act of mutual service in marriage. The act of mutual service in marriage. And what do we want to, talk about this 1 hour, in the next 1 hour, 30 minutes, is to how can we change the narrative? How can we shift the focus where partners are asking, how can my spouse make me happy? To how can I be a vessel of love and support? And we are going to also explore what are the practical tools, what are the templates and the daily rituals that we can engage as a couple in order to live a mutual sacrificial, selfless, and willingness to die to ourselves for us to grow as a partner in love. And we're also going to look at it, bringing up also supporting couples who are our guest couples who are also going to answer some of the questions that are important and also from their own lived experience. And so as I continue, I want to share a story in one of the encounters I had with a lady after a speaking engagement. And the lady came up to say to me that she's feeling very unhappy in her relationship. And she's so bothered and angry that 90% of the entire financial burden is on her. And every time she's trying to make her husband start a business, start something doing, it amounts to little or nothing. And in fact, he's so frustrated, so bitter, so angry. Why did God give him such a burden in a man? And I asked her, how did you get married? She said they introduced the guy to her, and that time the guy was quiet, simple, homely, loving, caring as much as he can. And that was the attracting point for her. And for her, she's a go-getter, very authoritative, dominant personality, and very a little bit masculine in nature. And he said, even in all the times they were preparing to get married, the guy was saying, yes, we are going to do so. She brings suggestions, says it's okay. Now when they marry, 10 years, 12 years into the marriage, she's so frustrated that the guy is not manning up. And I said, does this cheat you? She said no. But the bitter part about her is that she has gone to the extent of not even serving the man food, locking the fridge and the kitchen so that the man will not eat, if that would push him to start to make something meaningful about bringing in money. But she was so bitter too, because even her daughter and her two sons are beginning to be aggressive to her rather than their father. I said, share the man's contribution. He said, to be honest, the man is very homely. Early in the morning, has bathed the kids, take them to school, ensure they come back, eat. He even cleans the house. He washes her undie, her clothes, press them. But people are saying he's a human rapper, that he's just suffering, and the man is make. And he said, do you know, he tries to make everything work for me, except for the place of finance. So I let her see that if you look at marriage from the point of service, money or money generation is not only the service that makes a marriage work, that makes a home work. God has blessed you personally that you have capacity to bring in funds through your entrepreneurship spirit. And God bless you with a man who is very domesticated to do all the home work required, making you to come back to a house feeling so safe and cool. The reason why you are thinking so is because other men are doing what your husband should be doing. And because society has programmed you that if it's not the man bringing in the funds, then there is something wrong. This mindset has made you feel miserable about this relationship. And it also happened in a lot of families. Not because we are endorsing men to be home or be at home, but we are saying that no two marriages are the same. No two individuals or couples are the same. We bring different strength, different ability, different capacity into this marriage. And all of them, whatever form it takes, as long as it comes from a place of service, it is working to the glory, to the growth, to the development of the relationship. And so what is service in marriage? Service in marriage is not about becoming your partner's servant. Hello. Service in marriage is not about becoming your partner's servant. It's about becoming your partner's safe place. In the sense that as long as you know that in the relationship, somebody is there behind you, somebody gets your back, somebody is a pillar to you, no matter how little, that contribution is. It's a place you are so assured that somebody gets your back. And which means it involves partners to serve each other with love, not with anger, not with bitterness, not with resentment, but with respect and with kindness. There are people who are serving with bitterness. Perhaps they are cooking, but they are cooking with bitterness and anger. Some are dropping money, they are paying rent, but in the course of that, they are abusing their partner. They are telling him, you are so lucky I married you. I got you from the gutter. I built your life. So even in the service, there is no joy. There's no happiness. So this concept is built on the idea that marriage is a partnership, not a servant and master relationship. But it is where both individuals work together to support and to lift each other. To support and to lift each other. So if marriage is teamwork, it means that everybody is bringing his dreams, her dreams, the purpose of their life, the principles they want to acquire, the things they want to achieve. Both of them are having a shared mission, a shared vision, and both of them in the process will eventually realize their goals and their dreams. So no matter how the direction of the marriage faces, the challenges is faced, they understand they are in the same boat, sailing to the same direction. And no ship in the sea has always a smooth ride. They may be against the wind, there may be hurricanes, there may be calms in the sea sometimes, but both of them in that ship will work together to ensure that they sail to their desired expectations. And so when you understand you are a team, you understand it from the point of a football club. When you look at a football club, most times one person, perhaps the striker, scores 3 goals that wins them the championship or wins the team. But remember, if you have a bad defense, your opponent might score 5 goals against your 3. If you have a bad goalkeeper, it can ruin your 5 goals. If you don't have a good midfield, who is going to support you and give you the ball to score the goal? So in as much as you think you are the star of the team, you can't only on yourself play against 11 members and win a match. No juju will help you. No talisman will help you. So you equally need strong support from your team to make that happen. And the same thing comes into marriage. And that's why the idea of complementarity in marriage is that idea where a husband and a wife who bring different strength and weakness into the team and into the relationship, realizing that each of them can bring strength and support where one is lacking. So I give you a very good example. When we come to online, we come to digital space, we come to anything that has to do with writing, don't send me. In fact, I call Dima my personal secretary. I will just say, right. She will sometimes she will ask me, what, right. I'll say, right, or yeah, speak, or yeah, you talk, speak. I will come in later. We can't put the weak or the weaker person in front where we need our best foot to accomplish. When it has to do with structure and process, and I want to say, Dima, do that, we may linger for that in the next 6 months. I am an action person. If we say we're starting now, whether we have everything right, we have every resources, I believe start, learn along the way, fail, and move forward. But again, with that speed of execution, sometimes I am not also good at looking at the shortcomings or the pitfalls we may have. She is also more a careful person who is going to say, look, these things are not aligning. So when you look at us, people think we figure everything out. The truth is that we leverage our strengths. Once it comes to an issue, we look at who is the stronger person, who is the person with the right skill, who is the person with the right ability, who is the person with the right positioning on the issue. That person becomes the leader at that moment. What we care most about is that we are making it happen. When there is a win, when there is progress, it is us. We won't say it is one person, it is us. Once again, there is also a failure. We won't say, you made us fail. We realize how did it happen without blaming anybody. Even when it is the person's idea that made that venture fail, it is our failure. And so when God asks you to bring in a partner or give you a partner, God is not giving you a person like you. God is not giving you a person as better and as good as you are. He's giving you, in fact, sometimes entirely the opposite person. And that's why a popular saying say opposite attracts. That opposite attracts is a strength and not a weakness. And so when you apply service in marriage, you are able to know that different roles and responsibility contribute to the higher realization of your team, because you have mutual support. You may have individual purposes, you may have individual ventures, you may have individual goals to attain, but because you can leverage on your partner's personality, network, growth, exposure, that partner can come behind to even support you individually on your own person without rubbing that on you. Because in service in marriage, it is not about who is serving. It's about what we are building. It's not about who is contributing the most. It's about who is positioned in that relationship at that particular time to deliver. So once you look at marriage at 50-50, 70-30, you are making a mistake. Marriage is 100%, 100%. We are all in for it. I will share you a certain story. There was a time in our marriage where my wife was not able to, was under the weather, not feeling too strong. It was not for a month, it was not for 2 months. Probably it's almost for 2 years. And we're still having our getaway. We're still showing up in our children. We're still ministering. But most of the times, she was not able to show up. Even sometimes a day or the same day she has a ministration, she will say, take the script, go and minister. If we have not been working together, if we have not been learning together, if we have not been supporting each other, most of the things we are doing now would have stopped there. The funny part is there was a particular getaway that we went for, and throughout the getaway, she was in the room. I was the only one running the whole program, both the speaking engagement, the games, the counseling, even the dinner party. So I realized that once you begin to work as a team in service to the institution, do you know the problem? The problem is always, I am serving my husband, I am serving my wife. No, you are serving the institution. You are serving with a covenant spirit, and that will give you the sustenance, the energy to continue doing until your partner catches up. Even when your partner did not catch up, the energy of knowing that both of you are in this together will give you the spirit of tolerance, persistence to actually accomplish that which you people are capable to accomplish. And so in rounding up, the last thing I want to say is that the synergy in marriage. There's this Bible quotation that makes me feel happy. He said, one chases 1,000, two chases 10,000. Can you just imagine that? Which means the sum of your individual effort will be nothing compared when both of you fuse your ability, your skills, your talents together to do something. It is a 10s, which means you will be at a greater speed of realizing your goals than your individual, than allowing yourself to pursue different goals, whether it be money, whether it be parenting, whether it be joint ownership, whether it be venture. Once you can understand this principle and that the service I am giving to this relationship is much more about my partner, but about the institution, about the marriage, about the family, about the relationship, and for the greater good of the society. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, sweetheart, for that. And I think that was just a good way to get the topic off the table. So right about now, we are going to be bringing on our guest couple to do justice to the questions. And whilst they are doing justice to the questions, they are also sharing their perspective about mutual service in marriage. Our guest couple today are two individuals that are dear to our hearts, and then these two individuals came together to form a team. Like I always remind us, no guest couple was accidentally chosen for the day's topic. These couples, each couple, especially this couple, were divinely chosen to do justice to this topic. So let me not talk too much. Let's bring them on, and then you know why I say they are best suited to handle this topic. And this couple is no other person but before we used to call him the apostle of sex. Now he has metamorphosed from sex to the entirety of family life. So please join me and make welcome our dear apostle, Matthew Femi Adedoyin, and his beautiful wife, Fidelia Femi Adedoyin. And together, this one's from you. I call them Team Femi. Will tell us today what their compound name is. Apostle and Apostle Mrs. How are you today?
I'm fine. Good
Very well,
evening.
thank you. Good evening,
Thank you for having
Minister.
us. How are you doing?
Fine, we are doing great. Happy to see you once again.
God,
Same here.
thank you so much for having us. And happy
You know,
anniversary.
as love carry you go Delta State, I know they see your brake
The
light.
love has brought me back to Lagos now.
Wait, I see you even came back to my backyard. You just focus
I
on
mentioned it now. When I define house, I tell you, boy, no listen. Now Uncle they do not hear me when I define house. Say I want to return to
no way.
Lagos.
I can never talk my matter finish. I know you have been in Lagos since you came to Lagos. How many times have I seen you? So let we will send this our mutual service from marriage to
Don't
mutual
worry,
service.
I will come and pay a visit. Now, Ofio where I go chop.
That place you enter one chance now. I know Sabi cook up for you. So help me to cook the one Sabi cook. Anyways, it's great to have you here. And like the other 2 weeks we had a couple were 25 years in marriage. Last week we had a couple were 28 years in marriage. So today, let's feel like we don't senior person, because all the couples we've been having have been senioring us.
Senior.
But at least, yes. So talk to us. How many years have you done this thing that they say is hard? And what has the entire experience been for you?
Currently we have done 7 years and 11 months. In 2 weeks time we are going to be 8 years in marriage. And it's been a beautiful journey so far. and it's been a journey of deliberate submission to one another, deliberate service to one another, and it's been a journey of bliss, of peace. I mean, I feel like we should have done this way long before we did it, you know. And it makes me see life in another perspective. Made me see that you can lead, and in your leadership you are submitting. So it makes me see that marriage was designed to be a covenant of mutual giving. It's not designed to be a transaction. It's designed to be a covenant where both of you are giving and both of you are also receiving. Because when one person is giving and the other person is just drinking or receiving without giving in return, there's a form of resentment that come in, and that resentment will kill the romance, or will kill what marriage is actually what it ought to be. I hope I'm not okay.
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
Okay. So when one person is giving and the other person is just receiving without giving a return, resentment will come in, and resentment will kill the romance in the marriage. So marriage was never designed to be transaction of needs. It was designed to be covenant of mutual giving. And that is what we have been enjoying in our marriage in the last 8 years. I mean, and we have even extend the mutual giving to our daughter, because we believe that we are a team, we are a nation, and as a team, every single member that joins the team becomes part of the family, and everybody is giving their best in whatever they are giving. So our daughter knows what to give in the home, my wife knows what to give, I know what to give, and we all complement each other. But so far it's been a marriage of bliss, of peace, and of happiness. I believe it is the same for Fidelia too.
Why you go tell us what you believe is for Fidelia? Fidelia,
Okay, make
tell
she use
us
her
with your
mouth talk. Oh.
and be you believe is same for Fidelia. She no get mouth. Fidelia, is it the
Well,
same for you?
yes, it's the same for me. It's the same for me, and it's many times it's easy to say one thing on screen and something else behind. In fact, I saw a post this evening, and someone was saying marriages that are not marriages that are doing well, something like that, are thriving, are usually not on social media a lot. And I tend to believe that, because when you don't come out, when you are not showing yourself, many times people just feel maybe something is wrong, maybe something is not working. But I believe the reverse is the case. So for me, it has been total bliss, honestly. In fact, like he said, if I had known that this is how beautiful it can be, maybe we would have done it much earlier. But then when did I meet him? He didn't come early enough. Maybe if he had come early enough, so
And
yes.
when I came, I told him let's do it within 3 months. He said, "No, I want to know you more.
No,
Let's
no, no.
extend it."
I had to be sure I was getting into. So yes, it has been beautiful, and indeed, a journey of mutual service, mutually serving each other, in a way that, or being available, being present for one another beyond role play, beyond, oh, this is the husband's role, this is the woman's role, this is the man's role, but just being there to fill in the space as a team wherever there was a need. So yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. And thank you for validating that marriage works. A young couple about to do your 8th year, and you have pleasant stories to tell. About 2 days ago, another dream or thought or project was dropping in my mind. I'm like, mind, calm down. Never do the project where I get finished. You are bringing another one. And it was in line with what Fidelia said. I wanted to start up a series of interviewing marriages that are working, because honestly, we have a short supply of that outwardly. And again, I also know the Nigerian African dynamics to it. because they'll be like, if you bring out your working marriage out there, then go jinx you, then go jazz you. Even my mother will say, who is do your happiness inside your house. You don't know that people are not happy the way your
People are
marriage
not
is
happy the way
working.
you are.
Yeah, you will come and be talking as if now you Sabina, you only now you marry a sweet pass. Some people would, be wishing bad for you and all that. So when we come online, it's like we're just talking of this one, kill this one, do this one, another thing. So it's like, and it is actually leading to fear in young people. If you interview
Yeah.
young people who's scared of marrying, you find more young people who are scared of marrying than young people who are looking forward to
Forward
marrying.
to getting married. Yeah.
True.
That's telling you something. And I love what Matthew said about your daughter becoming a part of the service culture, because for me, service in marriage isn't just about us, the couple. It is about how it shapes the culture of our home. And that is what I love about what you said. It shapes the culture of our home and the experiences our children carry into their own relationships. So if your daughter is not seeing service practiced at home, how is she going to serve when she
Mm.
gets into a relationship?
You know,
So it's nice.
when we're getting married, we ask ourselves, what would the culture of the Femi Adedoyin dynasty be like? Since
Wow.
culture is the way of life of people at a given time, that means somebody started a culture that everybody begins to imbibe, and it became a way of life for them. So it means that we can start a culture that will become a way of life for the Femi Adedoyin dynasty. So let's say, for example, the Yorubas now, one man, Oduduwa, started a culture, and it grows and grows and grows, and it became a 50 million Yorubas adopted it. The Igbos,
Mhm.
somebody started it, and 40 million Igbos adopted it. It means that if the Femi Adedoyin family can start a culture and it grows, our daughter give birth, and their children, our children gives birth, children gives birth, and it becomes a culture that in this dynasty, this is the way we used to do things. And as they grow, when they see that, okay, this one, our or our parents created this culture because of the reality of the time where they were living. As they grow, they can change the culture to what will suit the dynamics and the reality of their own time in the Femi Adeloyi. So we created a culture that will follow, and anybody that visits our home will go by the culture. Because if you come into the home and you don't go by the culture, then there's a problem. It means you want to come and terrorize us, and will not allow that to happen. So we have created our culture, we are building it in our daughter, that she will pass on to everybody that will interact with her, come into our lives.
You are a true son of your father, and not just your biological father. You know what your family life father. Praise for woman. So if you had started a home and did not create culture, even me go carry you, keep you on top table, and give you like 24 lashes. So I'm not expecting anything different from that. So let's talk this service thing.
Hmm.
Especially in this age and time where people are so absorbed into themselves. I know again, we in the family life space have a responsibility to this, with how, I always say to people, you can't solve an extreme with an extreme. We were
Hmm.
trying to correct that culture where people were being subservient, where people were not expressing their individuality. And we started to preach, you need to be yourself in marriage. You cannot deny your individuality. It's almost like they were shifted from that one extreme to another extreme, where people now come into marriage and they forget that it is partnership. Everybody wants to come into my and still live my true self, but you can't be yourself alone. You can't do life by your terms in marriage. The day you chose to marry is the day you are saying, I'm willing to compromise. So, how for you, have there ever been a time in this your wonderful 7 years, 11 months journey where you felt that you were serving, but you felt unseen? You felt that your effort you were giving to serve, your partner was not seeing it. In that process, if that has happened with you, how did it make you feel? And how were you able to navigate that period, that season, without growing bitter or feeling burnt out?
Yeah, yes. In the few years that we have been married, um, there were seasons where I felt all my efforts, were invisible. You know, I work so hard. I bring everything I have to the home. I submit myself to the responsibility of the house, and it felt like I'm not being acknowledged. Or it felt like my best was not enough, and it hurts because as human that loves deeply, and I felt I'm serving, and I felt I put a lot of emotional investment, and in all of those things, if feel like, yeah, it felt like I've never done anything. So in my head, it gives a lot of headache. But what helped me process it is I reminded myself that I was serving. When I was getting married, the vow I made was that I have come to serve you for the rest of my life without expecting a thank you. We didn't use the regular vow that people exchange till they do us part and all of that. We drafted our own vow. She drafted ours, I drafted mine, so we share it on the pulpit with each other. So, and
Wow.
I remember one of the things I wrote in the verse was that I have come here to serve you without expecting thank you.
Uh,
So, anytime I now feel odd or I didn't feel acknowledged, I told myself, but you said that you want to come and serve without expecting thank you. So why are you being odd? Waiting they worry you. So and I realized I'm actually human. A part of me will expect an acknowledgement. A part of me should expect that I should be thanked for the things I'm doing. So one of the things that have helped me process it is that I told myself I'm here to serve, that I'm the chief errand boy in this home. That whether I'm being seen or not, I'm not doing it to be seen. I'm not doing it because I'm helping my wife. I am doing it as part of my responsibility as a member of this family. So that's one of the way I have been able to process it, that it does not hurt anymore. So sometimes, do I still feel unseen even right now in the home? Sometimes yes, but I try to talk about it. I don't in our home. If you are feeling anything, don't keep quiet about it. Say what you feel per time, because we believe emotions are meant to be expressed. When you do not express those emotions, when you suppress them, it does not disappear. It becomes distorted. So and when it is distorted, it becomes another emotion that you will not like, that may not destroy your marriage. So we discuss how we feel per time. Then the thought that I am here to serve without expecting a thank you has also helped me process the invisibility of all of the effort I'm putting in. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, absolutely. Let's go on to Fidelia, then I'll just pick out the lessons that I can take from what both of you shared. Fidelia, have you ever felt like your efforts at serving were not seen, were not appreciated? How did that make you feel, and how did you navigate that season?
Okay, yeah, yes. I mean, a lot of times, and many more times at the initial stage of our marriage. Of course, as time went on, we were able to navigate effectively. But one of the areas was, so for me, one of my major love languages, act of service. Yeah. So when I am working, I go to work, I come back, and I mean, for women, we are always working. We work round the clock. So when you finish from your 9 to 5, you come home, you are doing the house chores, you are doing everything. And then, the man comes back, he's actually tired from work. But then in your head, you're like, I also went to work and I'm tired too. So, what gives you the right to stretch your back and be on your phone while I am on my feet till probably 11 p.m.? So for me, for a while, it took me time to wrap my head around it. I
Hmm.
was like, I know this is not what I signed up for. I do not like this. you know. So I really, in those times, I felt really unseen, unappreciated. And like he said, one of the things that really has helped us a lot is that we talk about everything. We don't sweep things under the carpet. So I think that's helped a lot. And that was when I now found out that, okay, so this guy is not domestic. Yeah, he doesn't do chores, he doesn't like chores. But when he sees
I
that,
was not trained to do chores.
yeah, no, now that's the same thing we're saying.
Relax.
We're saying, that was when I found out that
Because you train yourself to do chores.
exactly.
Oh no, I would rather pay somebody to come and do
To
the
come and do the
chores
chores.
than do it myself.
So the thing is, he mentioned that, but at that time, of course, as a woman, I also had the financial sense to know that we are not at that point where we can actually afford to pay people to do these services for us yet. So why not let's team up together and do it? So what I started doing, at least what our resolution was, okay, whenever you feel like there's something that needs to be done, or something that is feeling overwhelming, just let me know. So that's what I started doing. I am not used to telling you what to do, but that is the compromise I had to make for him to be able to make the necessary adjustments. So yes, from time to time, oh babe, please can you help me load the washing machine? Oh, can you help me fold the clothes? Can you help me do the dishes? So I had to learn how to ask for help, so that we don't get ourselves into a tight corner. So that's basically it from my end.
Wow.
Okay. So, well, I hear something there because we're humans. There are certain times you can feel that, as much as we say mutual service in marriage. So, what I take away from you is when you begin to feel it, don't bottle it up.
No.
Don't
Yeah.
keep it. Talk about it
Yeah.
as many times as you need to talk about it. Because I also have people who say, if you talk, it will be like you don't want to do your role. It will be like they did not train you well. You're complaining, you are a wife. In
Mm.
fact, I've had a couple where the man says to the wife, you should be happy that you have an opportunity to be a wife, to be a homemaker. And
Wow.
I'm like, okay, that one, let's leave that. So let's talk about it. One. Secondly, I also like what Fidelia said. Open your mouth and ask for the help.
Oh,
Yeah.
Because I tell you, when you are there squeezing your face, either your wife or your husband is not
I don't know what's
pulling
going
their
on.
weight. Now you go see
One of the things I told her when we got married, she will squeeze her face. She will squeeze her face. And in my head, I don't understand when face, because me, I'm normally squeezing my face. It's a normal thing for me. So when somebody squeezes their face, I thought maybe they are meditating like I will meditate, or maybe she was maybe engrossed in prayer or something. So I was not even seeing the squeezing of face. And I said, if you need me to do anything, just ask. And that's how we got here.
Yeah, because I know somebody like me that is I would rather give silent treatment. At a point, I had to tell myself, yeah, you are not excited about maybe something, then you are keeping silent treatment again. You are punishing yourself times two.
Exactly.
Better open your mouth and talk the matter and let life move on. So
so that
that,
you can be helped.
yeah. So all right, that's very spot on. All right, so let's talk about this. So we understand how um life would be happening. There are things to be done. And also you are still in a society where you have your peers. If maybe, for example, you are doing stuff as mutual service, for the guys, they will tell you, oh guy, take time, oh, that woman go tie you around her, this thing, oh. So in your mind, you're saying, I'm serving, but am I giving too much where this woman will now start taking advantage of me, right? You, the woman, you are there, they'll be like, you have to hold your husband accountable. Oh. If you like, stay there and be slaving to death. If you die, he will go and marry another wife. So you are wondering, am I cutting him too much slack? So what mindset keeps you motivated to keep serving each other, even when your way of serving is perceived by others as giving too much, or even when in that immediate time, the service you're giving, you are not seeing it being reciprocated? I know Matthew said, he said, I want to serve this person without a thank you. But we acknowledge that even as a human being, sometimes you are like, who send you
Yeah.
message? So which mindset keeps you going in spite of what outside is saying and in spite of feeling not appreciated?
Two mindsets. Number one is we agree that we are a team,
Yeah.
that we are a team, and the goal of every team is to win. It doesn't matter who is putting most of the effort. It doesn't matter who is scoring most of the goal. If in a football team, you have the attackers, we have the midfielders, and we have the defenders. So if the attackers are not putting in their best to score goals, the defenders will make sure that they are not conceding goals. The midfielders will make sure that they are giving passes to the attackers to score goal. So at times you are on the weak side and your my wife is on the she has more strength. So it doesn't matter who is putting on most of the effort. We believe that the goal of this team is to win. If we are a team, so that mindset makes us believe that my wife is not being wicked to me. It makes me believe that she's not an evil person, that she's a part of this team and she also wants this team to win. Therefore, if it's not being reciprocated now, the mindset has make us work together as family. The second mindset that have made me continue to serve even when it's not reciprocated. I believe that I am sowing a seed and not trading favors.
Yeah.
I am not doing my wife a favor. I am sowing. I am sowing a seed. This is not a transaction. Uh, we are both in this together. If the marriage fail, it is both of us that are the cause. If we are winning, it is both of us that are winning together. So that mindset is the motivation for me to keep serving, is the motivation for me to go out and say, let me go and make money for the family. Is the motivation for me to come home and say, oh, my wife is emotionally down this morning. Let me make breakfast. Or let me, or I don't have strength for breakfast or I don't have strength for dinner. I just call, babe, I'm buying dinner home. It's not because the money is plenty. It's not because there's no food at home. It's because I've seen that all the effort she's putting, all the effort I'm putting, we are both tired. Let's ease ourselves. If
Yeah.
money can solve this problem, why still enter the kitchen?
Right.
So I believe that we are a team. Number one, I also believe that I'm sowing a seed. I am not trading favor. Those are the two mindsets that has helped me in navigating the situation, even when it's not being reciprocated immediately.
Yeah.
Fantastic, fantastic. Fidelia, do you have an additional mindset so that you're not repeating what your husband has said? Is there something else you want to add? Please go ahead.
Well, it's basically the same mindset that we have, but I just want to add that I heard something from Michelle Obama. Well, she's not my marriage counselor, but I mean, you pick things that are helpful along the way. So I heard her say something that really helped my mindset, and she said, in there are times, there's no time in a marriage that the two people are giving at the same level. Sometimes somebody is giving 90 and the other person is giving 10. Sometimes somebody is giving 50, so because life happens, there will be ups and downs, there will be things that happen. There are times you as a woman, you have to put your career on hold so that your husband can thrive. Sometimes you as the man, you have to stay home and watch the kids so that your wife can be out there. So it's again, it boils down to having the mindset of being a team. So yeah, that's just my addition.
Fantastic, fantastic. 50-50 marriage mindset, I tell people, is a myth. It
It's
is,
a
there's
myth.
never a
Yeah,
time where that happened.
it's a
Sam, you
myth.
want to add something?
Yeah, for me, is having this long-term perspective that marriage is a lifetime project. And if you understand a project, it does not go with the same speed. There are sometimes it's a breakdown, there's sometimes it's slow, there's sometimes it's at its fastest moment, and there's sometimes the project is dragging. But one thing that is important is that whoever has the strength keep it moving for the moment until your partner catches up. So be it a dream, be it a goal, that your partner is not aligning at the level and the depth and the degree you want that person to participate. Keep it moving as long as it's a shared goal and a shared dream. There may be times when that partner will catch up and even overtake the partner who was giving 100% before.
Very true.
So that long-term perspective makes you think something must be working as long as we have agreed this is where we are going. The second one is having unconquerable goodwill. This is where you have the best interest of the institution. When you work in an institution, it's not about your work. It's not about your boss. It's not about the colleagues in the work. It's about the vision of the institution. So beyond persons, look at the institution. That is where you are most loyal to, not to the person, but to the institution. And that will gives you the motivation that you are serving an eternal purpose beyond the person involved in that institution. Then lastly is that I always look back to say, we can't come at this moment and spoil the dreams, the good memories we have had. I always, at that point, look backwards to say, we have had amazing, great times together. This is too insignificant to draw us.
To draw us back.
True.
This is too small for the things we want to share ahead. This moment is too insignificant. So it just gives you that nudge to say, I'm going to forge ahead.
Amazing.
Deep.
Amazing. Very deep. Very deep.
You see that statement that I don't know how we put it, but that statement used to annoy the heck out of me. Something, and you now say, I'm more committed to God in this marriage than I am to you.
To you.
Okay, cool. I used to think that the man no love me. I go say, okay, maybe, okay, God told you to marry me. That's why you are marrying me, not because you like me. Which one be say you are more committed to me? Honestly, I will get another time. I'll come and ask the question in a different way. He will still come and say, I am committed. I am committed to this marriage more because of my commitment to God than to you. So after some time, I had to look at it to say, take away what has this person done anything to communicate that he doesn't like me, love me as a person? Not that my husband is a man of few words. So when I say, hey, so it means you don't love me, you are just in this marriage because of God. You say, I didn't say that. You're the one saying that. So you don't come and be telling you, what do you mean? I love you now. I love you. You will still be melancholic.
Oh my
goodness. Stick on the subject matter.
Or what you have said.
Exactly. So, but if the man can come and say, I don't take it like that, now what do you mean? I love you now. I love you. You say, my commitment to this marriage is more to God than to you.
Yeah.
I say, I don't enter one chance. But that is very important because once you have an authority figure beyond self that are accountable to, and of course again with the spirit of Christianity, which is about love, which is about sacrifice, then serving in marriage as a Christian actually is beyond the marriage. It's actually a way of living out your Christian values. It's actually a way of being a representative of Christ even in your marriage. Then you understand how it takes away the person, what the person is doing. You look at Jesus, look at God. He wasn't equating what we were bringing to the table in the relationship for him to do his bit. And then if you look at the husband as the bridegroom, just like Christ is the bridegroom of the church, then you can relate with the commitment being beyond our agreement, but more about the agreement to God who he feels is accountable to. So that's one beautiful thing about how we live out our Christian values even in marriage. If you bring your Christianity to service in marriage, it kind of gives you a foundation that takes your eyes away from your partner. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Okay, as a advocate of soft life, because if they start a movement now of women championing soft life, I'm going to be in the front of that because I know that this life is enjoyment we came to do. Of course, purposeful enjoyment. But even when the enjoyment is not purposeful, the fact that we should enjoy, we don't come to suffer. So tell me, when one of you notice, Matthew had said something earlier to this, but I want to bring it out. When you notice that one of you is emotionally exhausted, Nedum shared a season in my life where I was navigating anxiety disorder and literally just living by the day. So when you notice that your partner is emotionally exhausted, how do you practice selflessness? How do you practice this service thing without losing your mind? Because I know that in those moments, there were times I would be having palpitation. I will say, oh, I'm fainting, I'm going to collapse, I'm dying, let's go to the hospital. And that will be like in the midnight, we'll rush to hospital and come back. At a time, the man self was exhausted from running up and down. And when he come back, the doctor will say nothing, just go and do your breathing exercise, nothing is wrong with you. So you knew it was more about um, the mental health beyond the physical whatever. So he will share his story. How did he stay alive even while supporting that emotionally exhausted wife? How did he ensure he was still carrying your partner, serving your partner without crashing, without losing your mind, without even becoming the anxious person that your partner was? So I don't know if you've had seasons like that where one of you was just not, there was no 10% to give. The person was literally just staying alive, just
Yeah.
even 1%. If you've had such a season, what was it like and how did you keep serving in that struggle?
Okay. For me personally, in those few moments of emotional exhaustion for her, I just automatically step up. One of the first that I reschedule my own schedule to say, okay, this woman has nothing to give this period, not even 5%, not even 2%. So it means I'm here to give my 100%. So um, I then ask myself, I have a role as a husband, I have a role as a family life coach. I also have a role in other businesses that I do. I have a role as a father. So what do I need to do? So when I get home, every other role is shut down. So I just pick up the role of a husband and pick up the role of a father. So then the home office is shut down. So there's nothing to do at home that is related to office work. So I just step up. So I remember there was a time, I mean, she was terribly sick, terribly sick that I have to do everything at home. So while I was doing all of these things, in few moments that I need to catch my breath. So I tell myself that selflessness is not self-erasure. That I should not lose my being because I am serving. I should not erase myself. So I ask myself, what is my capacity? And I'm the type of person that when I'm tired, I don't do anything. My wife is different. My wife, when she's tired and there are still five things to do, she wants to do all the five things before she go and rest. Myself, I'm not like that. When I'm tired, I shut down immediately, go and sleep. When I wake up, I can come back to it. So I let her know that I'm not going to change because you are now emotionally down. I'm not going to change from that man that will not do all those things, even in the entire state. No, I'm going to sleep. I'll come back to it. Just leave it for me. So one of the things that I've done in those moments was I step up and do on all of the 100% without self-erasing myself. I know my capacity. I do my bit, I rest, I come back to do the rest, I rest again, I come back to do the rest. Because I realize, as me that have the strength taking care of the sick person, I am more sick than the sick person. That's what I tell myself. You taking care of the sick person, you are sicker than the person. So what do you need to do for both of you not to break down is know your capacity, and I begin to work based on that capacity. When I need to rest, I rest. When I need to do any other thing, I do. And while also reminding her to sit down and not to touch anything, because my wife, the moment you are resting, she's agitated. Why have this not been done? Even in an emotionally down period, auntie, it is my game now. I am the one deciding how this thing should be run. Don't control it, don't decide it for me. Go and sleep. And those moments, I see that I do it the way I want to do it, and see that the thing is actually working. So I let her know, your way is not the only way. There are many ways to go to the market. So you are emotionally down now, let me use my method, let me use my way. And without forgetting that I am human, I know my capacity, without erasing myself. That's important to me. So I told myself, selflessness is not self-erasure. I must be seen in all of these things that I'm doing.
That is amazing. I don't carry that one took and somewhere. You know that you used to drop some things for me. I can still remember it was from your mouth I first heard, like, continuously. All you know is not all there is to know. I'm like, this boy gets some lyrics. So I don't collect this one at some place. Selflessness is not self-erasure. And I think that is just a good summary. Fidelia,
Yes.
has there been times when this man no gets 1% to give you?
Oh
How are
yeah.
you? How do
Many
you
times.
handle?
So
Yes. And so I don't know. My for me, I can't even say that, oh, I was able to deal with it without being exhausted or without self-erasing. Yeah, I can't even say that, because for me, okay, so let me just give a very funny background to this. Before I got married, yeah, if I would go to a married woman's house, someone who had children, and meet it upside down, like scattered, I would so judge that woman. I would be like, and you call yourself a woman, and look at how your house is. So because in fact, sometimes my husband asks, will ask, are you sure you don't have OCD like this? So when I got married, I wanted to bring in that same energy of when I was single. So yes, even after breastfeeding all through the night, and your eyes are drooping and you're tired, I still feel like I should be able to stand up and do the things that I need to do. So one of the first shockers that I had was, I think we just gave birth, and then he fell ill, like sick unto death. It was really bad. And at that time, I think it was just God that held me together, because I was driving myself as hard as I could possibly go. I wasn't giving myself rest, and that's something I'm still learning. Honestly, I am still in the process of learning how to relax, how to just breathe, how to let go and allow things run and happen. So I can't even say that, okay, this is how I handle it very excellently and maturely. No, I don't think I've gotten to that point yet. But what I'm doing now, with the help of my husband, is I am learning that if I leave this world, if I die, these things that I'm complaining about, someone else will step in to do them. So I'd rather be, just take that nap, sleep. When you wake up, the thing will be there to attend to. So, I mean, there are days now that I can literally have a heap of clothes on my couch and I don't care. Because if you don't like it, don't come to my house. Just don't be around me in that moment. Because this is me trying to reset my brain, reset my mind, to be able to carry the how do I put it now, carry the weight of the season of life that I am in. So that's,
So
that's it.
recently I was telling her, I said, it is better to be alive and the house is upside down than to die and the house is clean. That when you are tired, rest. Don't die, keep the house clean. When you are supposed to be alive and everything, it is now person wey dey alive go clean house. Oh.
Yeah, so it be.
Now
I
person
am
wey
a
dey
total advocate.
LD, now if you donate blood. So
Absolutely.
that's the mindset I have. You have to be healthy to donate blood. So keep yourself healthy if you want to donate blood.
Wow.
Wonderful, lovely. I think for mine, I thought it was something for a short term, maybe something in about a month. Will be done and will be gone, come and will come out of that situation. I never knew it's something that would take that long. And so what really happened for me is to activate the savior mindset, which is also born of my personality type, to say to myself, I will do everything that needs to be done. So was I exhausted? Yes. Was I very tired sometimes? Yes. Did I wish this thing never happened to us? Yes. But this is reality. And so from your gender role to role switching, everything a human being can do, just do it. So whether it's what you are used to or what you are not used to, but a human being can do that. Activate that possibility. And so that was one of the mindsets I chose. And the one thing is that our house help and our driver left the same mood too. So this is a support system that you already have when everything is fine. Imagine your driver and your house help left at the same time. And we beg this house help, any amount you want, I will give it to you. But she said, it's time to go. I was like, oh, Jesus. So there's a time when money can buy something. And so the second thing is to look at what are the good friends? What are your circle of friends and relatives that can support you? Because sometimes you're like, let me not say anything. Let me pretend. Let me be strong. But realize that needing help is not a sign of weakness. It's just that you want to remain strong at that moment. And so whether it's your in-laws, your own siblings, or amazing friends in your network you have, let them know what you are going through. Let yourself be in the position that you are willing to accept support and help. Just know that you want to be alive to do the things that God has created you to do. So being that vulnerable is very, very important. Because you want to say, I don't want to look like a weak person. I don't want people to know my story. You know, this idea of writing a perfect story always makes you die in trying to prove you are perfect. And so I am weak at this moment. This is what I'm passing through. I need your help in this area, in this area. Be willing to accept such help. And it's okay to be that at that moment. And I think these are the two things I want to add to so many things you people have shared. Amazing solutions you people have shared.
Okay, so let me add my own perspective to it. And depending on the personality and the person you are married to. So my husband is a firstborn male child, number one. Number two, the day they gave birth to him was the day God created the sense of responsibility. Number two. Number three, he is a melancholy, a strong systematic fault. I say to him, if people want to learn anything about that personality called melancholy systematic fault person, They just need to study your life. Your life is like 97% representative of systematic forge melancholy.
Mm.
And you know that because they serve, even when they are dying, the people around them have a tendency not to notice when
Notice.
they are exhausted because
Mm.
they don't even show exhaustion.
True,
So you
true,
have to
true.
be mindful. You have to be very present
So,
to sense exhaustion. Again, when you even sense the exhaustion and you're trying to like have a conversation around, are you feeling tired? No, I'm okay. I'm okay. So you're now confused. Are you sensing the exhaustion and the person is saying nothing is doing him? So I have learned not to, if I sense the exhaustion, I
and
just do what I need to do. I
You
don't
don't
talk
bother to
about
ask
it
him if he's okay.
because for them, maybe in their brain, accepting that sense of exhaustion doesn't fit into the persona of their provider,
Mm.
um, problem
mindset.
solver, whatever. But over the years, he has mellowed down, like, really come to accept that human side of him. And like, for example, I woke up, he woke me up 15 minutes to this session. Because my brain was doing, I just go and sleep. Before person will begin talk another story, a lot is happening around us in our
Yeah.
home today. It's our daughter's birthday, many things. So at a time, I'm like, no. I turned off my phone. I went to sleep. It was 15 minutes to time. He now came and woke me up. Wake up so that your face will calm down before the time. But
Mm.
he was still awake, doing this, coordinating this, talk this one. Whoa. But I know that I needed the sleep. So you see that I can acknowledge when I am weak and tired and cut
Yeah.
off, just like Matthew. So if you're married to somebody like this, you need to be observant and then you need to do what you need to do for the person when they're exhausted without trying to, communication will not cut it out now. You don't have to, how are you feeling? No, just do what you need, that they need to make the atmosphere, to make the home, and to even make them feel rested. Sometimes he has done this project, done this, he's about to go. I will say, you're not going out tomorrow. Tomorrow you will sit down in this house and sleep. He will say, okay. Then sometimes I'm not even sure he will agree. So I will just say it. So maybe the next morning he's not prepared. I'm like, you're not going to work. He said, Shebi, you said I should not go. You said I should
Uh-huh.
sit down and rest. So I'm resting. I'm like, okay, it worked today.
You
Other
work
days
today.
it may not.
It might not
Yes.
work.
Yes. Other days it might not work. You say, no, I have something to do. So you just have to help this kind of workaholic, responsibility driven people
Driven.
to remember that they are also a human and they need to feed themselves. So that's how I show up for him when he's emotionally exhausted, even when he does not acknowledge it.
Nice.
Okay,
Mm.
so I think there are plenty things, but we have to wrap up now. I like when I have my people go just the gist. I don't go remember saying a session we do. I
Now
think I'm
session
just
we
having.
did.
I'm not session we did. I think I'm just having the Femi Adodoyin is in my living room and we are just gisting. I can't look up. Yeah, it's session. No, we have to log off. Oh, people need to go before they will say this one has turned to marathon. But let's end with this. Just give us practical habits because we've been talking about how people can handle being taken for granted. So, what are practical habits you do in your marriage that keep you both expressing love and support intentionally and not reactively? You want to give us 2, 2, 1, 1 practical
Yeah.
habits? Somebody is listening to us and is saying, okay, what can we start doing in our marriage? What would you say you do practically that helps you keep giving love and support intentionally?
Okay, so I'll go first this time around. So two things that we do. First is that we ensure that we eat together at least once a day, which is usually dinner time. Um, and in that time of eating, no phones on the table. We just take time to have a conversation, just focus on how beautiful the food is, how nice it is, or how salty it is, or just have conversations around that. And that's something that I believe helps us to keep that bond, or I'm sorry, I forgot the word that you used. Yeah, so that's one. Another thing that we do is communication. For me, I think that's I don't know. So communication has been one of the very serious backbones for our relationship. And even before we got married, the moment we met and we clicked, we started talking every day since then. And then even now we are married, we there's nothing that happens that we are waiting till evening when we meet to gist. No, you pick up the phone and you call immediately to say. And sometimes it is really weird, it's ridiculous. When you hear it, you'll be like, okay,
Okay,
so
why are you calling me
what's the
now?
interesting part, of what you're about to say? But it's so I don't know. There's something it just does to me, as a person. That so sometimes I have my phone by me as he's stepping out of the house. I know he's going to call, so I just have the phone there. And then when he calls, I'm like, so what happened this time? And he's like, can you believe I just got to MRS and there's no fuel there? I'm like, it's a normal thing now. So should they always have fuel? What if they don't have fuel? So, but it's I think that really, really helps. I get to the office and something happens, I'm picking up my phone to call. So the gist just keeps going through the day. And then when we come home, the same thing. Sometimes we are waking up, maybe I wake up 3 a.m. to use the bathroom, and he wakes up about the same time. We have started gisting, sleep suspended. So I think that really, really helps us a lot. So in those moments of conversations, communications, a lot of things are brought to the surface, things that you didn't think about even discussing. They find their way into those conversations, and you're able to resolve quite a number of things. So yeah, that's it for me.
Yeah, most importantly, we just talk. In our work as family life
That is
coaches, we tell people to create open days. We don't have open day. Every second, every minute is our open day. So as you are feeling it immediately, we talk about it. We just keep talking. Since we've met up to this moment, there is no single day we don't talk. If I'm stepping out of my gate, I'm calling her to let her know that I just step out of the gate now. I just saw something. I can just walk in and come and tell her. I can't wait to walking is taking too long. Just talk about it as you're feeling it. That's one of the habits that has helped us. Then we eat together. I mean, at least once a day. Then we do regular check-ins. We just, okay, how is it going? How is your work going? Oh, the witch in your office, I hope she has not killed herself, and the person that is giving you stress, we just randomly gist. And and couples gossip is very interesting. So we gossip about everybody and everyone and everything, and we just keep talking. And this habit has helped us a lot.
Thank you.
fantastic, fantastic. The child of the maestro can only be another maestro. Say lion no fit born cats now. So you are doing amazing. The dynasty is excited with your marriage. I'm sure your father is smiling from heaven. Then your father in this field,
Mm,
praise for what is excited. Then us, your aunties and uncles, are
mm.
also excited that you see these people. When we look at you, we know that there is hope in this generation. So thank you so much, Matthew and Fidelia. We
Thank
can
you.
go on, but let's just bring Casey to wrap this up. I have one more question, but I say no. Casey, take over.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Uncle
you.
Nedum,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you for having us.
Matthew,
Auntie
thank
Dalu,
you for showing
I'm
up.
still coming to eat my ofio with. I don't know what you are talking about.
You go
Yes.
carry your phone when they come. You go carry and come.
Wow, wow, wow. This
Wow.
was an explosive session.
Yes.
Amazing, amazing. In fact, I'm clapping. Amazing, 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 amazing,
Thank
amazing,
you.
amazing, 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 amazing. They said deliverance is not only when you lay hands on people and cast out demons. Deliverance comes when you hear some things and you know that your life will not remain the same. I have been
Yes.
delivered this evening, and I know that a few other people who are in the room feel the same way. I want to say a huge and a massive thank you to the Adedoins. This was really explosive. This was really interesting and enlightening. Thank you for putting your life on the line, your experiences, and sharing them with us. There are so many things that you said that I have gotten. One of them is that what we're doing is teamwork. So your analogy of football was on point, where you said that some people are defenders, some people are midfielders, and some people are attackers. And some people might not be attacking, but they are making sure that a goal does not enter. Right. So that and many other things that you said, I want to thank you people for coming to LOVEATHON and lending your voice. I pray that the oil on your marriage will never run dry. You will continue to excel as family life coaches, and you continue to do us proud. Trust me, you people are doing amazing. I've learned a lot from you, and I know a lot other people have learned from you. Also, I'd like to thank our host as well, Dima and Nedum, the Dabus Kabas of Stature Marriage Rights Academy. Thank you so much, our teachers. Thank you for giving us this platform also to learn, to grow, and to be better, and for our marriages to be better. Thank you for making the world a better place. Thank you. All right, people, we're going to be signing out now. As you know, we're coming back live tomorrow at 6 p.m. Exactly 6 p.m. We'll be here. So you don't want to be anywhere else. Please make sure that you're here tomorrow at 6 p.m. Our time is fast spent. I know that some of us might have questions, but we can get your questions tomorrow. Just before we start, we can address some of those questions. I want to remind us that parents can register their children for NADEM, and singles can also register themselves as well. Thank you so much. Thank you, and thank you. In the absence of that, I'll be seeing you all tomorrow, 6 p.m. No African, sorry, 6:50 p.m. Sorry, 6:50 p.m. The conversations will start at 7 o'clock. The room opens at 6:50 p.m. and the conversations start at 7 p.m. Thank you. Let's have a good evening and have a good night rest. See you tomorrow. Good night. Thank you.